Hey guys, and welcome to a showdown featuring myself under the guise of Melon Lord, leading the forces of the Warriors of Chaos up against the mighty Sergeant Spaghetti of Sons of the Mountain. Now, this wasn't a quick battle, we just happened to run into each other. I am friends with Sergeant Spaghetti, really cool dude, and we thought we'd try out some different builds, so both of us bringing some stuff you maybe wouldn't usually see. In particular, Sergeant Spaghetti, who's a very experienced dwarf player, wanted to change up his build quite heavily. I've gone a bit more traditional, but we're also going to be bringing some pretty wildcard stuff, such as the Soul of Damnation. Now, we're going to be taking advantage of the terrain, hiding behind these trees, hopefully allowing ourselves to duck for cover when those dwarvish cannons do set their sights upon us. And because we're more of a mortar-style artillery piece, we can rain fire down from above on top of our enemy, dodging the trees with our shots. Our main battle line, we have some Chaos Marauders on this flank, but the mixed main core of it shall be Chaos Marauders with great weapons dropped all the way along, as well as the Mirror Guard regiment of renowned Chaos Warriors dotted into the sunset. More Chaos Marauders with great weapons as well in the secondary formation. And on the far side, we have the Demon Spew regiment around Forsaken, who don't have the greatest armor piercing, but that's when the EVERDUCK does come in. And there we have Safrael himself, leading the forces to battle, looking ferocious and awesome as always. Coming in with Stand or Die, Arcane Conduit, Plague of Rust, which we're going to be trying to overcast on some units to allow the Forsaken to really chew through them quickly, and Searing Doom. On the back burners, we do have a couple of units of Marauder Horsemen. Their sole job is to shut down Slayers, do some nice long-range damage to them. And up in the skies, we do have the dreaded Double Exalted Hero in their most competitive state, which is coming in, of course, with the Mark of Khorne. Bonus to charge, base weapon damage, melee attack, and immune psychology. Always very powerful stuff. Now, for the Dwarf forces, it's an elite bad to the bones build, which I really do love quite a bit. We have two triple gold chevron cannons. That's a big investment. Should speed up their reload time, though, quite considerably. Dwarf Warriors are only used to protect them. We have triple Slayers as well in the central pocket, looking to protect forces where possible. In the front lines are more Dwarf Warriors, and then 4 units of Hammerers. That is as gangster as it comes. These mighty elite dwarvish bodyguards will hammer the skulls of marauders for days. And leading the force, we have the swaggiest of all lords, Ungrim Ironfist, here to tear apart foes left, right, and centre. Hell Cannon, though, is going to be in pretty good position all round. You can see cannon shots are trying to fire through. A few shots are clipping us, but the trees are making it really hard for the dwarvish artillery crewmen to draw a good eye onto us. And the Hell Cannon continue to rain down fire on the hammerers, though some good juking and some bad aiming has allowed them to sustain very little damage, only losing 1 troop so far. Cannons are going to switch target now onto the Mirror Guard. Not a bad choice whatsoever, as they're going to be one of my most hard-hitting infantry units. Nice Hell Cannon shot, though, does come down on these hammerers, forcing their troops down to 69. Exalted Heroes are flying right around the flanks as far as possible. We actually had some sneaky Chaos Warhounds with poison as well, lurking just behind the enemy as the cannons continue to sing, and they're reaping a heavy toll on the Mirror Guard, down to 53 models. And I'm getting a little bit scared by this point, because this is going to be a real nasty front line to take down. And the Hell Cannon's doing some okay damage, but nothing too crazy, really. If we take a look across the board, the Hammerers looking pretty healthy, and they're certainly more up to the challenge than the Chaos Marauders in a grind fight situation. Exalted Heroes continue to float around the flanks for now. It looks like the Warhounds as well getting into position, ready to jump on any enemy fleeing troops. Mirror Guard are going to be taking this advantage to jump on top of these Dwarf Warriors. Want to overwhelm this unit as quickly as possible. Chaos Marauders and Mirror Guard together should be able to butcher them, but Hammerers are quick to respond. Sergeant Spaghetti's micro on point as always. Chaos Marauders are great weapons hopping on top of the Hammerers, as are cheaper Marauders, the basic ones, and we're whipping around the flanks to try to shut down the cannons where possible. Hell Cannons continue to pepper in. Exalted Heroes as well starting to engage with the enemy. Rear charging Hammerers trying to butcher them where possible. A big nasty Searing Doom is coming down on this unit of Hammerers, and Dwarf Warriors reaping a bloody toll. We've managed to break that unit on the left hand side due to the help of the Exalted Hero. Everwatcher does get knocked down by a cannon shot right to the chest, but the Demon Spew are quick to respond in an attempt to avenge their lord's embarrassment. Charging in onto those Dwarf Warriors should do a very good job of chewing through them rather quickly. Weapons do a decent job up against the Hammerers in fairness. Looks like Plague Rust is going to go down on these Dwarf Warriors, and you can see how quickly their health is dropping. The Demon Spew ripping and rendering beard from flesh and dwarf from armor. These guys breaking instantly. Demon Spew looking to hunt them down. Cheeky Chaos Warhounds did try to get in and shut down a cannon, but it looks like the well-placed Slayers will be able to drive them back. However, more Marauders are starting to push into the rear, and the Chaos Marauders are finishing off the Hammerer. Bit sloppy by me. The Hell Cannon is shooting at the wrong unit there. Really needs to turn and then start engaging these other hammers, I would say. Chaos Marauders, though, slowly beating down the Dwarf Warriors, and Marauder Horsemen have also moved forward to help assist where possible. The Great EVERDUCK is just currently floating in the middle, mainly relying on his sneaky spells so far. Arcane Conduit is going to pop down, stand or die, trying to buff up nearby troops as well. Cannon shots are starting to focus him down. He won't take too much damage, however. He does have pretty good resistance all round to range. Hell Cannon has switched his target to the Slayers, realising they're going to be one of the biggest problems for us, particularly our Exalted Heroes, as well as the EVERDUCK himself, who is now getting in there, doing the business onto some hammers with the help of the Forsaken as well as the Marauder great weapons. Left-hand flank is going well for us as well. Exalted Hero is pounding down the hammers rather nicely on this flank, trying to help the beleaguered Mirror Guard, who are down to just 11 models, but still fighting strong nonetheless. And we have some Chaos Marauders with weapons coming over to help assist. Horsemen have started to move up now, looking to throw their axes and javelins into the Slayers and whittle down their numbers. Infantry has been rather successful on this right-hand flank, particularly the Demon Spew, who are going to be very good as well up against the ranks of the Slayers, charging in with the assistance of the Chaos Warhounds here. We're trying to do as much damage as possible. It looks like the Slayers, though, will obviously not go down without a fight. They are unbreakable. They are hacking and cleaving, and we're starting to run out of troops quite quickly. Balance power, though, is slightly in our favour. Demon Spew up to 98 kills. Brilliant job by them so far. Looks like the cannons have switched target now to the Exalted Heroes, which I definitely think is a better bet than going after the mighty Saphrael himself. The Exalted Heroes will break, obviously, whereas the Everwatcher is unbreakable. Nice little juke by the Exalted Hero, forcing his Manticore into a charge onto the Hammerers, doing some nice damage to them as well. And Ungrim has been hit by an overcast Plague of Rust, lowering his armour down to 60, allowing the Horsemen to do some pretty decent damage. Big Searing Doom does count down on the Blob, dismembering some Dwarf Warriors and Slayers alike. Demon Spew up to 119 kills, are slowly being overwhelmed by the superior numbers. This Exalted Hero is having to dodge those cannon shots as agilely as possible, but it is tough for an Exalted Hero. The other one as well is rather weak. Cannon pressure has been very good so far by my opponent. Chaos Marauders with great weapons are chewing their way through Dwarf Warriors and Hammers, and once again the Exalted Hero will do a little hit and run on this right-hand flank, trying to break some of the dire resistance and force them down to just Slayers, where the Marauders will hopefully be able to chew through them, but it is looking pretty scary right now. Demon Speed up to 135 kills, once again engaging with Slayers and doing a good job. The big old mighty Saphrael does come with a big cleaving swipe of his disgusting tentacly staff, doing some good damage. And yes, the Slayers will be good against him, but he should still be able to pound them down rather nicely. Hell Cannon continues to miss its shots, and I don't know if it's because of the slope, but all battle it has been rather inaccurate. Chaos Warhounds are chewing their way through Slayers and Cannon alike. Exalted Heroes tag teaming up on these hammers now, doing some nice work, but paying for it in their own blood as the cannons reap a deadly toll. Both units of Slayers obviously going to fight to death alongside the Slayer King Ungrim, who once again has been hit by a Plague of Rust, trying to allow all the Horsemen to get in there and finish him off for good, although some Slayers are doing some nice buffering right now, and really beat up Chaos Marauders, still somehow going strong. One Exalted Hero does charge in on a suicide attempt. He was very beat up and getting finished off by the cannons anyway, so came in for a cheeky little cycle charge, blew up one of them, and needs to kind of try and stabilise a little bit before coming back in for some more carnage. Hell Cannon is now going to focus down that artillery piece as well. We've come off fire at will with our Marauder Horsemen. Only key targets for them should be kind of the goal right now. They're very low on ammunition, and we're going to need them to help bring down Ungrim. The Slayers are a bit of a problem, but we can whittle them down slowly via Hell Cannon shots, but Ungrim is a different beast entirely. Double Exalted Heroes, though, can do some nice work on him, and balance power is in our favour, but it's still looking pretty rough, honestly, to try and bring down this number of troops. Now, we have 36 Chaos Marauders weapons in the distance. Elsewhere, just a load of broken units. A few more Marauders are coming back to the fray as well, and we certainly need them. So we're playing the slow game right now, slowly just pouring in Demon Spew and other broken up units. I say Ungrim, trying to throw javelins at him where possible. And both the Exalted Hero are starting to approach. Slayer's taking quite a lot of damage here. We're going to chuck in the Exalted Hero as well as the EVERDUCK over on this side, breaking off that cannon crew by terrifying them for trying to fall back from the Slayers. And the Exalted Hero is going to take this opportunity to just dismember that cannon who has done so much damage to him and his own kind. Looks like one Exalted Hero is about to go down, completely surrounded by Slayers. Chaos Marauders are here to assist, and it looks like Ungrim once again is taking a ton of javelins to the back of the dome. Chaos Marauders pushing forward once more. And we have managed to finish off the cannons for good as they are terrified, and we should realistically be able to chase them on the battlefield, one of them being absolutely shattered as the poor Dwarf Warriors come back to the fray, only to be shot by a Hell Cannon and charged in the face by an Exalted Hero. Really lovely attack animation there. Horsemen down to 1 ammunition each, which is very disgustingly low. We're going to have to wait for these Chaos Marauders to trot their bums over here to help support and try and drag down the Slayers. And it looks like the last volleys are coming in, aiming at Ungrim as well as those Slayers, doing some pretty good damage. And we are going to have to fall back with our Lord here. Looks like we have managed to shatter the Dwarf Warriors for good and the Cannon Crews as well. The Exalted Hero is very beat up, only 661 health, but he still packs a mean punch. So if we can get our infantry over here just to bog down the Slayers a little bit, the Exalted Hero certainly can go in for an assassination attempt on Ungrim with the help as well of our Lord, and the Horsemen cycle charging in. In the distance, Exalted Hero looks like he's going to probably fall off the battlefield. Likewise, the Chaos Marauder. Hell Cannon doesn't really have too many good targets now. Big Fat Searing Doom is going to go down on the remainder of Slayers, pinned in place by our Horsemen. And we can do some pretty nice damage. Nothing too crazy this time, but they have been really useful during the course of the battle. And now we're going to start having to cycle charge down with our characters as the Horsemen pin the Slayers in place. But we're going down very quickly. Plague Rust has been popped on Ungrim, and then our Exalted Hero is going to follow up with that, charging in, trying to take him down if we can, because at the end of the day, he's still a foot long without too much health. 400 HP just got chugged off him, but he's going to turn around, engage the Mighty Beast, and slay his demons. Beautiful work by Ungrim there, who then charges onto our Lord, and Ungrim may well carry this. We do have some big shots coming in from our cannon, but it's probably not worth it. We're probably going to be doing more damage to our own kind at this point. So I'm going to come down with a Searing Doom, doing some nice damage all round. Slayer's getting very low, and that was a desperate strike by us. But by distracting my opponent with the Exalted Hero and doing some nice damage with him, the Lord as well as the Horseman did manage to finish off most of the Slayers, and now we have the 36 Chaos Marauders coming back to the fray. Balance power is heavily in our favour. Army losses range, but Ungrim is a beast, and he's going to be pretty damn hard to take down. Him and his one little Slayer still going firm. Hell Cannon shots also aiming at the moment at Ungrim. Looks like that Slayer is going to get flung across the battlefield, likewise Ungrim shall himself. And if we can keep the Chaos Marauders alive and hack them apart, we certainly have a good shout here. But the Everwatcher simply cannot draw Ungrim and hope to come out on top. Hell Cannon still has some ammunition left, but at this moment I realised that I was simply doing more damage to my own troops, and I would be now that there is simply Ungrim left. So we're actually taking them off the artillery piece, and they're going to be legging it across the battlefield to try and engage their dwarvish adversary in hand-to-hand combat. Nothing like a bit of dwarf on Chaos Dwarf action. Everwatch, of course, going to be doing cycle charging. Ungrim holding the line, only 600 health left on him though. A few good hits, we should be able to whittle his health down to a killing range. 586 now, but likewise, we're down to 1,300 health on our Lord. Big Fat Plague Rust is going to be going down, hopefully allowing our great weapons to pierce the thick armour he does possess. He may be a Slayer, but he's also a king, and a king wears fancy armour. Horseman, once again, charging him, trying to break him down. 200 health at this point. The Everwatcher is going to be charging in as well. The Dwarves are huffing and puffing, trying to get in the action to see such a mighty foe fall. And it looks like the Horsemen are giving up hope at this point. Ungrim down to 52 health, but the Everwatcher down to 497. But luckily, one or two blows away, we flap our wings outwards, spread them, and bring magical fury down upon the Slayer King. Very well played to Sergeant Spaghetti. As always, a fantastic opponent, and this wasn't a super competitive game. He wanted to try out a few things, so again, I probably would have struggled, I think, quite a bit more if he was bringing his main dwarvish forces, but I love to see experimentation in this game. It's always good to see, and the double gold chevron cannon certainly got some good value. 1.7k damage value, 1.1 on the other unit. Dragging down our Exalted Heroes, huge damage on the Mirror Guard. Unfortunately for them, the terrain really favoured the Hell Cannon, which enabled us to do some pretty good damage to them throughout. We'll go through the rest of the damage dealt and damage value in just a second, but if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel and the video, helps push it out to more people. Likewise, feel free to comment down below. Again, it helps out, and I do read through all of them. I really do enjoy reading your feedback, anything you would like to see. What was your favourite moment in the battle? That's been my favourite one to ask people in recent times. And yeah, what was your favourite moment? Was it, Ungrim going down, Ungrim slaying that Manticore and laughing victoriously in his face? What was the moment that did it for you? Likewise, if you do want to subscribe to the channel, feel free. It is absolutely free, of course, and keeps you a little bit more updated on when we drop stuff. We are very close now to the 5k subscriber mark, where we'll certainly be doing some form of a celebration stream, and we'll be doing a big charity stream as well, not too long after that. I've been planning for a little while. So yeah, if you also want to join my Discord, send replays to me, get them cast on the channel, get involved in tournaments I host, live streams, see a load of pictures of ducks, and hang out with, I think, over like 550 members now or something. There's a link down below, as well as a link to my Patreon, where you can indeed support the channel. As I said before, very well played Sergeant Spaghetti. His Slayers get in there and doing the dirty work. 1.1k damage for on this unit, 498 on the other, 614. So two of them struggling a little bit, getting kited back by our horsemen and just slowly dragged down by the sheer weight of marauders, but the other one holding the line. Now, the hammers, unfortunately, really did struggle. And people in general really don't like hammers. I think there are times when they can actually do really well in certain matchups, and this is one where I like the idea of them, but the Hell Cannon really did neuter their effectiveness, plus the cycle charging in the rear from the Exalted Heroes was really what kind of broke them, and then we could simply chase them off the field. Dwarf Warriors equally faring a little bit poor. Ungrim though, 2,000 damage value, he is very cheap, and always good to see the Slayer King in action. For ourselves, the Hell Cannon, the Soul of Damnation, only 1,492 damage value, which is pretty impressive, but when you consider it used up all its ammunition, was firing into hammers and slayers the entire time, it was just so inaccurate. I'm not sure if it was the slope of the hill, the fact that we're having to fire up over the trees, who knows, but it's still a decent job at the end of the day regardless. Likewise, the Chaos Warhound's just a constant threat to my enemy, and making him always have to keep looking over his shoulder to see when they are lurking, and they still managed to get 755 damage value, escorting a lot of elite troops off the field. Horsemen, nothing crazy damage value-wise, 600 here, 5,500 here. But again, focusing down key targets like Slayers. One of the MVPs for sure for me was the Demon Spew, simply for the amount of dwarves I managed to get off the field. 1,294 damage value, 11k damage dealt, and 144 kills. Really helped clear out the chaff, allowing the Exalted Heroes to get in there and do the dirty work. Mirror Guard, good targeting by my opponent, obviously to kill them with the cannons, meant they basically got no value whatsoever. Across the board though, the Marauders, very cheap unit throughout, managed to pay for themselves, and at some point even did rather well in the higher kind of echelons of the hundreds. 900 here, 600, 700, 500, 400, not too shabby. Both the Exalted Heroes, a flying mobile terror is always quite good in this game, but just the fact that we have that mobility to ram right behind those dwarves and break their lines is so invaluable. 1,171 damage value here, the other one 568. The EVERDUCK doing a pretty fantastic job. 1,753 damage value, 11k damage dealt. Those Plague Rusts really coming in handy as well. Once again, well played to my opponent. And until next time, guys, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.